all got to have a reason to turn up on a Saturday afternoon. We give up a hell of a lot of our time, 22, 24 Saturdays in a row. People work, we go to school each week for a full week, and then we decide for a hobby to leave the house at 9 o'clock and get back at 10 o'clock and spend a load of money doing it. There's got to be reasons and motivation behind that. And those are just some of my opinions about what I aspire to. And the first one is to be competitive. By that we can't necessarily control whether we win each week or not, although that's the ultimate aim, because we can't control the quality of the opposition, performances that people may put in or not put in, but ultimately we want to make sure that we are competitive each week, and by that I mean we play to the best of our ability and give ourselves every opportunity to be successful. I equally think that as players and adults we need to be better than we were last year in whatever aspect of the game that could be that improving your fielding, be that improving runs scored, wickets taken, economy rate, whatever that is. You need to do something to make sure you're better than the year before, because otherwise if you stand still someone's going to go past you, and that means another team either going past you or someone in the club going past you and taking your positions in teams. I think players need to be mentally stronger each year. That's not for me to say that people weren't, but as you go through the various teams and as you go through to tougher competitions, there is a lot less focus on skill levels, because they're all very similar, but more so the mental side of the game, and can you be tough when the time is needed. And again, I think there's people within the club who will really benefit from being mentally strong in various situations. And I think if we can do that, then subsequently, whatever team we're in, we are going to be in a position where we can challenge at the top end of each division. And I put that phrase there, controlling the controllables, and by that we can't control the weather, can't control umpire's decisions, we can't control what an opposition bowler or batsman does, but we can control what we do, and we can control whether we get better year after year after year. But ultimately that's in your control as players and the motivation that you have. And then looking forward, this bit for me is really, really simple. How do we as a club and we as players improve? I see number one as a challenge and a positive. Some people might be sat here seeing it as a threat, seeing it as competition for places, and that might lead them to sort of maybe go into themselves a little bit. But competition for places for me means players have to play better, and you have to be better, and that will motivate you whatever it takes to make yourself a better player and perform. All right? So that's one way how we can improve as a club, and that's by making the club as a whole more competitive in terms of those positions. Commitment to training. I'm fully aware that we give up a hell of a lot of time, and in a midweek on a Wednesday night when we'll train again this year, that getting there for 6 o'clock or 6:15 for 2 hours is difficult at times. But ultimately, if you want to get better, you can't just go from Saturday to Saturday without doing anything. So in some way you must commit some of your time during that week to be able to practice and get better, and that will link into Welch's job as club coach, who's always on hand to work with people. And I'm going to say this now, that Dave has got no issue with people ringing him at any time asking him to help someone. That's why the club has got Dave involved. So you as individual players, for the membership and the subscriptions that you pay, can access a service that can make you better. But that's for you as players to go and access that and go and say, can we work on this, can you look at this, and whatever, and Dave will obviously oblige for that. And the final thing in terms of improvement, and this is again total opinion, is for me it's about taking responsibility. At the end of the season you could get X amount of runs or X amount of wickets. Well, that's great. What's most important for me is how many results have you affected when you've done that. When you've scored a load of runs, has it affected the game? When you've took wickets, were they cheap wickets at the end of the season, or have you got that one crucial wicket that's won that game? Did you take that catch that changed that game? Did you affect the result? So for me, great, I have some stats at the end of the season, but start talking about how many games have you affected and how many games have you won for this club during the year. I want to move on to this, and this is probably my main point I want to make tonight for people in here. And I sort of linking back to the start when I talked about preaching to the converted. Those are my opinions, and those are what we as a committee, a selection committee, will talk about. Firstly, as batsmen, don't come up and tell us you think you deserve this or you deserve that or whatever. Go and do something, right? Go and put in some performances and then come and say, I've done this, when's my chance coming? I've done it again, give me a chance, right? But don't think on the back of a reputation or your personal opinion, backing it up, that you necessarily deserve that. You need to go and earn that, right? By putting in performance, not 1 week, not 2 weeks, week after week after week, and then come and tell us, be it Dicko, be it me, be it Rob, be it Mayno, whoever, put some performances in and then tell us, all right? And that's what it's all about, all right? And when we do that, people will be given a fair run in the team. And I would like to think over the last 4 years as a club captain, that's been the case on the whole. That once people have been given a chance, they've had an opportunity to try and pursue that chance over a prolonged period. Bowlers, put in performances with sound economy rates. Don't come and say you're taking wickets here and you've done that and you've done that, because ultimately if you cannot control where that batsman hits the ball, your captain cannot captain that side. And for me, it's a cheap excuse saying I could take one more wicket taker, take wickets, because captains can't control the game unless you can control where the batter's going to hit that ball. And that's purely my personal opinion. That might differ to Rob's opinion, that might differ to Tomo's opinion, right? But for me, a sound economy rate, where you can control what that batsman's doing and you can control where you get the ball, is the crucial part of bowling, right? I also think on the back of being able to do that, wickets look after themselves. But equally, batting places, depending on the time of year, might be up for grabs for different bowlers, because depending on the wicket, the summer, whether it's drier, whether it's wet weekends or whatever, teams might decide to go in with more bowlers than they would do batsmen. So there are opportunities throughout the year and competition for places. That said, and this is my key message for tonight, I'm going to sort of let the people everyone in the room into this now. I sort of wrote a list of players who I think could have the potential to play first team cricket this year, back in December. And I identified 18 players who I believe have got the potential to be competitive at first team level this year. 18 into 11 doesn't go. So from that 18, that's 7 players who aren't going to play in that team, who will therefore potentially play second team cricket or even lower. That impact then filters down. So if those players move into second 11 cricket, then that's more competitive. And that pool moves down and moves down again. Okay. And this is the major point that I want to make absolutely clear to everyone tonight, and I'll be making clear to everybody who isn't here tonight, is that this coming season there will be players who will be playing in teams that they did not play in last year. Okay, and that is first team cricketers from last season who probably will start in second team cricket this year, second team cricketers who will play in third team cricket, and then obviously third team cricketers from last season who will play in fourth 11 cricket. And those are the two things I want people to really seriously think about, is if that is the scenario for you as a person, as a man, is that going to be an issue for you? If come April, someone says, you're going to be played second team cricket last year all year, but you're starting in the third team this year, or you played first team cricket last year and you're starting in the second team cricket this year, is that going to be an issue for you? And if it is, then we've got some conversations that we need to have. And if it is the case, then what are your intentions going to be? Right? If it's the fact that you aren't going to want to play, or you don't want to play in that team, that standard of cricket, then we need to know what your intentions are going to be, should that be the case. And by that I mean, are you going to carry on playing? Are you going to kick up a stink and make it hard for a captain? Are you going to not play at all? Whatever it is, okay? And I realise, boys, from you turning up here tonight, right, I'm preaching to the converted, because I'm taking it from that, is that you're here because you care about the cricket club, all right? But I wanted to be absolutely transparent that that is going to be the case this year, all right? Because I don't want to have a scenario come April where people say, well, hold on, I didn't see this coming, okay? So that's the scenario we're in, and I'll be quite happy to speak to anyone at any time. I won't necessarily promise I've got an answer for you, or a no, or put any thought into it, but that was one of the key points that I wanted to make evident. So if those questions for you are ringing up issues, then at some point over the next sort of couple of weeks or so, then we might need to sort of have some conversations. I then want to work onto this